Welcome to another MazPlay video. This is MazMojito, and today we're going to be getting into another town management style game, and this is going to be the pilot episode. We're playing Dinkum. Let's get to it. Alright guys, so we're jumping right in here with Dinkum. So Dinkum is classified in Steam as a farming co-op simulator game, and I got this on sale a little while ago. This actually is a pretty game's actually been out for over 2 years, so still in early access, and you can get it for pretty cheap on Steam. But yeah, it's pretty much designed to be a co-op game. It has kind of a cartoon look, and it is kind of based in the outback somewhere. So right now we're gonna go ahead and get our character created, and then we're gonna jump right in. Okay, so with that intro, you got a gist of what the story is about. Your character is from a city as overcrowded and pollution is taken over, so you decide to join Fletch here to go to the outback and start over with a new camp and kind of like start up your own little town. So she has given me a tent, so now I'm just kind of picking a place to put it. Again, anything that's red you can't put it down, but if you get a green spot you can definitely put it down. If you are standing in the way, you won't be able to put down the tent. So here we go, we're going to set that up as our base camp of operations and then return to Fletch here to get our next instructions. There are no voice actors in this game, so it's going to come out as a lot of gobbledygook, as you can hear from here, but the important thing is just to read the on-screen text. Okay, so apparently that wasn't my tent, that was Fletch's tent. So that's going to be the primary base of operations headquarters. Fletch is going to be pretty much the town manager at this point. She in turn gave me a tent so I can pick anywhere I want on this map to set up a base, but I'm going to try to make sure that I stay close to Fletch, especially as we grow our town and we start getting some vendors and other people showing up here. So I'm going to quickly put the tent down right here, get set up. This is going to be my home, and I'll run back to Fletch and get the instructions on what I need to do next. Alright, so with this deed, I can now mark a spot for our first vendor to show up, who's going to help out with the town. And from there, that vendor that shows up will be able to sell us tools and other things that we're going to need to advance our little small town, and hopefully it turns into a giant village. Now, full disclosure, I have played this game before. I got pretty decently far, then I took a long break like I do with all my games, and now I'm just kind of jumping back in here. Pretty fun game. You can get your town pretty big. A lot of fishing in this game, a lot of tree cutting, a lot of hunting. There's a lot of building. Your typical town management game. Okay, so this journal is going to be your main way to level up. You have little daily milestones that you can look at every day. If you accomplish those, you get some experience points. As you can see, they look like little blue stars. As you get enough experience points, which is your balance is kind of in the upper right, you can spend those experience points on different things to either increase your skills or you also have a currency at the top in Dinks. 250 is what you start off with, but that's how you're going to be able to buy some things. So going around doing things, harvesting, cutting trees, picking up foods and all that kind of stuff. It all goes to your hotbar at first, as you can see down there. Eventually you'll be able to get like a bigger bag and everything, but right now everything's going on your hotbar, and from there you can use that to do your crafting. There's a lot of mining in this game. You can get your iron, your copper, your tin. There's all kind of mining piles, and you'll see them. They stand out because they look like little brown stones, but they actually have a different color type of ore in there, so you can get that thing. Now Flynn's here just Fletch here is just guiding you through the process. She also has access to all the crafting benches early on in the game, so this is what where you're going to come to do any kind of crafting until you build your own workbenches. And she also, as you level up, she will give you new blueprints on how to craft new things. So as you can see, she gave us a blueprint for a campfire, and now based on those materials, that's what we need to craft a campfire. There's plenty of trees around here, so we can go out and chop some logs down, get some gum logs, and get some stone, and we'll be able to have a campfire. And once we get that, we can start cooking. Alright, so now that we have a sleeping bag, if we die, we will respawn at the sleeping bag and we can come and rest at the end of the day when we get tired. Got my trusty net out here. You can capture pretty much all the bugs that are flying around here, whether they're butterflies or flies. You just kind of go around, listen for them buzzing around, or the butterflies, they can just kind of float around, pretty easy to find them. Now, collecting enough of those, you can usually turn around and sell those to the vendor. Or certain insects, you can actually use those in some crafting recipes. So in this case, Fletch asked us to go catch a couple things, so that's why we're out hunting for some butterflies right now. You will see different things on the ground. You got some feathers that are going to be around. You'll use those for other recipes. Certain things you can pick up, you're just going to use those for getting more dinks for currency and selling those to the vendor. But some of the things you actually need for ingredients. Now, there is a ton of mods for this game. You won't find them on the Steam page, but there is actually a dedicated site, mods at Dinkum Nexus. You can go there and download more mods if you really want. Some people really like having all those different mods on there. It makes the game more enjoyable for them. I'm just playing this vanilla right now. I haven't really gotten too into the mods, but I'm sure if that's your thing, that is something that maybe you should take a look at. We're going to see what we actually can build right now. We still got 250 dinks, but we have 305 on the exploration points. So we're going to keep working on increasing that so that we can unlock new skills. We got our campfire down, and now we can actually start cooking some things. Like, let's cook these limes. And you'll actually see them turn a different color. The sizzle will stop. You can tell when they're raw versus cooked, and there you go, pops right out on the ground. So it's pretty easy, just rinse and repeat. Everything that you have that's cookable, you'll be cooking it the same way. Alright, so we're just going to go ahead and wrap up this cooking. As you can see, it is 1:54 in the afternoon. The mission calls for us to craft a campfire, which we did. We're going to go ahead and try out our new bed and rest for the day. We'll come back for the next day. As you can see, I'm getting to wrap up some experience points based on what I was doing for the day, foraging and bug catching. And the more you do that, the more experience points you get, which is your balance up top. And this also speeds up time. So any vendors that's supposed to come, they will most likely show the next day. Okay, so one thing I forgot to mention, you can actually play Dinkum with the keyboard and mouse or with a controller. I'm actually playing with a controller right now, so if you see me moving kind of clunky, that's why. You can also actually also pick up some of the things except for your tent if you want to relocate them to a better spot. Maybe you want to put the campfire over here. I didn't like the fact that it was right in front of my entrance, and I think if you do step in that, you will catch on fire and you'll have to run and jump in the water to put yourself out. So just gonna go through my things here. I don't think I have anything else that's cookable. Here is the vendor that showed up since we slept and sped up time. His name is John. So he's gonna give you all the tools that you need to continue to explore Dinkum. Most important thing that he can sell you though is that axe and that pickaxe. I mean, eventually the fishing pole will be cool to have too, and the shovel, but definitely want to get that pickaxe, and you definitely want to get that axe because you can be doing a lot of mining and a lot of tree chopping in this game. The other stuff will be great in the future, but right now this is going to be your go-to tools. So, like I said earlier, John is going to be your go-to source for getting Dinkum coins. So all you got to do is sell him certain things that maybe you have excess of, like butterflies, or maybe things that you can't use right now, like feathers. Sell those to him and he'll give you a really good market value for them. There we go. And we went from 250 dinks all the way up to 2,592, and that's what we're going to use to buy our tools from John. Now, as you level up and John progresses through the story, he will start selling a more variety of tools, especially when you increase the size of his shop. But right now, he's just got what he has, not a lot of selection. So as Fletches is telling you, John's your go-to guy if you want to get a lot of Dinkum. So you definitely want to use his services. One thing that she's going to go into as well as far as licenses is the licenses are basically going to unlock different skills for you in different levels using permit points. You can get that from Fletch as well. Off to the left, she'll talk about this a little later, but you can also donate to the camp and actually use that donation to help improve the size of the village. So these are all the different licenses that she was talking about. They all have a cost in terms of experience points, and the main way you're going to rack up experience points is doing the daily objectives and the daily quests. Most of them are pretty easy. So and you also want to make sure that you keep talking to Fletch and John throughout the day, because you want to build up their happiness with you and your rapport with them. So that's going to be a smart thing to do. Now we got our pickaxe. Now we can actually go out and get some tin and some bronze and some regular old stone if we want. This also helps if we're trying to clear some areas so that we can level the ground, so that we can build more areas, make more flat areas to build on. But yeah, this pickaxe is money. You definitely want to have that, and you definitely want to use it to get stuff so you can sell to John. So John really likes buying butterflies for some reason. So we're going to go around and catch as many as we can and go back and sell those back to John. Now he has a table saw that we definitely want to get, because that's going to allow us to convert these logs into planks. And once we convert these logs into planks, we can actually build some more advanced stuff. So let's go around, see how much how many things we can get that we could sell to John and get some dinkums or some dinks, and yeah, get our table saw. Hey, let's pick up some tin while we're over here, maybe some copper, and definitely want to get all that stuff because that's going to come in handy down the road, especially when we unlock the forge. So this game works on a stamina based system. Once you zero out your stamina, until you eat something, the screen was going to go completely light on you, almost to the point of white, and you may even pass out. So you really got to keep an eye on that stamina, especially when you're doing work like chopping trees, and mining is the worst when it comes to stamina. So it's going to drain you pretty fast. We got a couple things that we can sell here to John. We don't really need too many things because we don't have like a forge yet. So we'll go ahead and sell those ores too and get some money. We can turn around, look to your left. There is a table saw for 5,200 dinks. We definitely want to grab that so we can start knocking these logs out and turn them into planks. All right, now that we got our table saw, let's get it set up. As you can see, there's an arrow pointing to the right. That is the direction that the planks are gonna fall. Now we just gotta put the logs in here. The bad thing is that you can only put one log at a time, so it's really slow. I have 19 logs. That means it's gonna take me at least 20 to 21 seconds at least, because it takes about 2 seconds to cut one log. But if you get a nice little routine going, you just kind of stand there and just keep feeding it logs until there's no more to give it. And as you can see, the planks are starting to pile up into a nice little sack there to make it nice and easy for you to pick up. But this is pretty much how it goes. You can actually have a nice little assembly line of table saws where you just keep feeding it logs, but one is enough right now just to get started. And you know, this just kind of give you the gist and understanding how that table saw works. Back to Fletch, see what the next objective is she has for us. Alright, so Fletch is done with us for today. She says come back tomorrow. Our next objective is to try to get John to stay permanently, and that means giving him what he needs in order to set up a permanent shop. We got a couple daily milestones already finished. We have one milestone left where we have to sell John 3 pieces of fruit. Now John does close shop at a certain time, so we need to hurry up and get that fruit sold to him before he closes up for the day. Okay, so unfortunately John is done for the night. As you can see, I talked to him. He didn't have an option to sell anything. It is very late. As you can see, it's dark outside and my stamina level is pretty much next to nothing, so I won't be able to do too much tonight. The only really straightforward thing to do is to go back to my camp and go ahead and sleep for the evening, get my stamina bar back full up. We got at least 2 out of the 3 daily objectives completed, so that's better than nothing. Okay, so as we wrap up the day, we're gonna go ahead and put a bookmark in the video. We'll come back in the next one, continue on during the daytime with our daily objectives, try to get John what he needs to make a permanent camp, and go from there. So I hope you are enjoying the video, and as usual, I'd like to thank you for taking the time to watch my videos. Please remember to leave a like, comment, and subscribe because it really helps out the channel, and we will see you in the next video.